All right. Just a Fan podcast. Last time we had some noise issue. Oh, Jesus Christ. Is it is it a blue moon?
That's real beer. That's real beer.
I was like, we're starting this shit off heavy. See, I thought you were drinking beer because of all the shit that's going down in downtown
The chaos.
and everywhere else. I mean, has
Yeah.
Twitter ever been more lit than it is right now?
No.
Have
No,
you
this is-
seen
this is
more
great.
people getting flatlined in your life?
Yeah, this is wild. It's wild.
Old white guys.
Too bad we don't have a leader either to try to corral and bring together.
Hey,
It's wild. It's
they go
wild.
on a little bit longer. It's a lot of fun.
I gotta be honest. It is very entertaining, and it's like that when you see a crash on the side of the road, entertaining.
Yeah.
Where it sucks that it happened, but it's impossible to take your
Oh,
eyes
yeah,
off.
of course.
I was flipping between the fights and the the protest.
First time in history
Back and
where
forth.
we were watching UFC and changing the channel to the news, left and right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
So
those-
far, what's the worst video you've seen?
if by worst you mean best, it's probably when I believe it was in Huntington Beach or maybe in North Carolina where some white dude
Called them the N-word
called a black guy the hard R N-word, and
and got flatlined.
there's a group of black guys
We talked about this.
gets out of the car that they were driving in.
It was
and-
a lead hook, like with zero power on it, and he got Anthony Rumble Johnson.
Yeah, it was very similar to the way he crumbled up against the wall to the Tank Abbott, like the classic Tank Abbott KO. It wasn't as bad. That's gruesome, but that same type of just up against the wall, leaning, just done.
Yeah.
But also, don't call people the N-word, right? We don't do that.
Not
That's
very smart, I'd say. Wouldn't be my first game plan, but do that.
Yeah.
I love the bow and arrow video of the guy just getting out of his truck and just pulling a bow and arrow at people. I mean, can you be any more insane? You know that's
No.
not going to work. You know
No.
that's not going to work. And, of course, they went at him like World War Z. Just...
yeah. It does suck to see, though. It does suck
Well,
to
yeah,
see.
I
It's
mean,
like,
it's pure chaos. Other countries looking at us like we're fucking insane, which is true. We are.
yeah, clearly it's true.
And then the looting is taking a lot away from the actual protest, which is
Yeah, it
that's
is.
too bad.
And it's almost like when you say that, people think that you're against the protest.
Yeah.
You can be for the protest
Yeah.
and against the looting. That like the two things don't have to. They're not together. I don't see the looters as protesters.
No. Exactly. But
Like I don't think all cops are bad. There's clearly a good amount of bad ones,
yeah,
but it's not like all of them are bad. That'd be ridiculous.
yeah. But I think it is necessary that they're doing this right now.
It is.
I mean, they'll think twice before they do some shit again.
Hopefully.
And us being,
I don't know.
obviously of the
Yeah.
darker complexion.
Hopeful. Yeah.
Every time, I mean, even if they get me for jaywalking, I'm like, well, this is it. I'm going down, folks.
Yeah, I mean, I've only been stopped by cops a handful of times, and they've been nothing but respectful to people, the ones that I've talked to. But it is nerve-wracking
I
as
know.
hell. Just shaking from my vantage point, even if they're behind me, like a cop is behind me. I don't do drugs. I barely drink, and I don't really do anything that would, it's illegal or
I do all
I should be scared of. But
I
it's
do
just
all
the
of those,
thought.
But yeah, that aside, we do have fights on Saturday. But we did have
And a card this past week.
a card last Saturday, which was okay. I mean, we said it was the worst card so far of the post-coronavirus, cards.
Plenty exciting though.
Oh yeah.
There was plenty of fights.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people showed up. I mean, Burns getting a huge dub. A lot of people are just like, some people are asking for a title fight for him too soon, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Too.
But still, against Tyron Woodley, one of the toughest you can ask for
Yeah.
opponents. I mean,
I would say this: if you gave me Gilbert Burns versus Kamaru Usman and Paulo Borrachinha versus Israel Adesanya in Brazil, Nigeria versus Africa, and I saw somebody say that last night. This is not my own idea, but if you gave me that, throw Sadiq Yusuf in there
I see
versus
what I
I
would
don't know
rather see is
Aldo.
Borchinia Adesanya, and then co-mained by Gilbert Burns, Colby Covington, in Brazil.
Yeah, I mean that would be fun, but it's just like the Nigeria versus Brazilian angle, you know.
That's cool.
Maybe Gilbert Burns wins another one. Kamaru defends his belt, and we can get
But
that.
Colby in Brazil is just too juicy of an opportunity.
You're right. It is.
Too
It is very good, and that fight makes a lot of sense too.
Usman versus Burns. I'm sorry.
Yeah, as far as star power goes, but I don't know.
watch it.
I
No,
feel
don't
like this
get me wrong,
Gilbert
I'll
Burns. This
watch
Gilbert
it.
Burns can give him
Oh yeah,
problems.
no.
I think.
I think it is going to be a great fight.
Yeah.
But will I fork over $75 for that? God,
No.
Borchinia versus Adesanya might be able to carry anything on its back.
Yes. Yeah, that's true.
But if you try to sell me
you-
Usman
you-
versus Burns as a main event, get out.
Yeah, that's not like a headline worthy fight.
Burns. I saw somebody throwing out Burns versus Rocky, Leon Edwards, for the. I mean, I know.
It makes sense. It does
that would
make
make sense
as far as
because
they're in the
yeah,
division.
that's a fight that makes sense to me. It's like that fits that checks off all the boxes. You know, Leon's looking for a fight, of course. I mean, we're talking about the worst luck in UFC history. Leon Edwards. Don't go backstage.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
How about can we get Leon and Santiago Ponzinibbio?
Is Ponzinibbio
Let's
even
have-
around anymore?
I don't know, but I don't want
Who's
Leon
that?
to fight Burns. What if Leon beats Burns though? We just lost another fun contender. I don't mean rightful contender. I mean another fun one because Leon Edwards he's a rightful contender. He's won enough in a row, been really impressive, but he's not fun.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
He's not.
No, he's not fun at all. And all the British analysts are just sucking him off big time.
Yeah, he's good. He's
really
good.
But to say
We've also seen him fight Kamaru
but to
too.
say that like fighters are afraid of Leon Edwards. No, it's the same thing with Usman. It's like Usman's champ, but like Jorge's like, I'm not gonna make any money off this fight. This isn't gonna sell.
Yeah, and also if he loses, he'll lose some of the luster
Exactly.
also.
And
for
he'll
him.
lose it against Usman. Like no, if he's gonna lose it, have it be Nate. Run that back for a third time, and then we gotta fucking then you're rolling in dough. I mean, even if you do that Nate fight just this time and you smoke him again, you're still rolling around in dough. You know.
Yeah, if you're Masvidal, you probably would rather have fight McGregor, beat him, then you fight Usman. You got your money fight. You beat him. The Usman fight makes plenty of sense.
Oh, side
on.
note: did you see John Jones in the streets stealing
Yeah.
cans from people? God, that's like one of my worst nightmares. Is me just
Yes.
vandalizing the town, and I get a
Yeah.
hand on my shoulder, fingers the size of my legs. I turn around and it's a drunk John Jones.
Oh
A
my
drunk,
god.
coked up John Jones.
Yeah.
Give me the can. I'd be like, yes, sir.
Yeah, that's basic. He's basically the Batman.
Oh, yeah.
He's the New Mexico
If I
Batman.
saw him doing this, give me the cans, I'd be like, ah! Oh my god!
But also, good
Oh
for
yeah,
him.
no.
I mean,
Seriously, I mean, this makes him look pretty good, but
Yeah.
you're gonna have to do a lot more than that. I'm sorry.
no, yeah, that's.
I want you
Yeah,
to
that's
give
only-
homeless people every Sunday
Yeah,
for the next 15 years, and then we might talk.
and not shooting up guns to impress them either.
Exactly. What do you make of him talking about he's gonna drop the belt?
Well, I don't know if it's been made official yet,
God,
but
it's everywhere. I mean,
it seems like it sure
Yeah,
has.
yeah.
Like I think Dominic Reyes today kind of acknowledged it, saying it would be sad to see him. First of all, and Ryan Bader thinking like, oh, just come over to Bellator. Dana White's not going to release him. Of course not.
No.
We all know that's the case. He's not going to release
Papa
him.
Dana ain't gonna do that.
No, no.
Monsieur Dana. He's
Realistically, we'll see John Jones back. I think it's just I think it's dependent on a big fight. An Adesanya next year is what he
Rumble
said.
Johnson.
God, man, I don't know if they wouldn't pay him for Rumble. If they're not paying him for Ngannou, they wouldn't pay him for Rumble.
God, man, I just don't.
I'm shocked they're not paying him for this one.
I don't know how they're not paying him for Ngannou. He was asking for Deontay's money. That's what came out.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. If Dana thought that was gonna make people go like, "Oh my God, I can't believe he's doing that." No. You should be paying him that. If not, more.
Yeah, he's asking for Deontay money while he's the Floyd Mayweather of the sport.
I'd say even better because
AKA it's a discount.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's more exciting than Mayweather, So he's like the Mayweather of the sport, yet he's still fun to watch. I mean, his fighting style has changed.
Yes.
It's more one shot, circle, one shot, jab, move around. Before he used to just throw like a spinning back fist into like a takedown, and you just be like, well, geez. But yeah, I mean, what do you think is next if you had to put money on it for John Jones?
I say it's Adesanya.
Wow. In Raider,
I think
Raider Stadium.
Since the Ngannou fight has seemed to have fallen through, I think Adesanya probably maybe July, maybe like next year on this week. No, we're in June. Damn. Well, next year, a month from now, we would be talking about the week of John Jones and Adesanya. That first week of July, that's usually one of the bigger cards the UFC has. You would expect it to be on either that card or maybe the early March card that tends to be big or something like that.
God, that's such a big fight, man. What if Dana?
What
if Dana didn't pay him for that one? I mean, there might have to be another riot. I'd start looting.
I know, dude. That'd be terrible.
So let's get into some of these fights that happened last Saturday.
Saturday.
Chris Gutierrez leg kick TKO. Did you see that?
Wait, what?
Yeah, this guy Chris Gutierrez in the prelims. Edson Barbosa, Vince Morales, and I watched a interview with Vince Morales saying he was asking him what scares you about or what do you think about Chris Gutierrez, and he was like, yeah, he's got a good kicking game. Well, yeah, no shit, he just TKO'd you with kicks. I feel like that's the most embarrassing way to go out, other than quitting on the stool for the UFC.
Really, leg kicks? Oh man,
it's so rare.
I don't know, man. You get Edson in there though. He's down to a few guys.
No, that's what I'm saying. It was very Edson-like. I mean, he was beating up both legs. I was just like, oh my God.
Kind of like me in UFC 3, huh?
Dude, the leg kicks in UFC 3 are the most OP bullshit things I've ever seen in my life. And
kind of like me, right?
I bapped you up with fucking Gaethje last time we fucking did it. So I don't want to hear it.
I didn't lose.
Well, yeah, you just went to the fucking leg kicks as usual.
Wait, yeah. I won, right?
You got dropped 4 times before you went to the leg kicks.
But did I win, though?
All right, moving on to the next fight. Louis Smolka actually getting subbed round 1 against Casey Kenny.
Oh, man. That surprised me.
Casey Kenny looks good, man. Louis Smolka is no joke in the grappling department.
No, especially in like scrambles and stuff like that. Like,
he's a motherfucker.
Kind of his bread and butter.
He's a motherfucker. Another surprising one after that, Tim Elliott getting subbed by Brandon Royval, and Royval was
he's another guy who's in the scrambles.
Yeah. We were talking about how we wanted Tim Elliott and Louis Smolka to be going at it.
So
But now, shit, Royval and Kenny, get that shit signed up. Let's go.
They both lost. So let's get Elliott.
Same
Smolka.
card. I don't give a fuck. But Royval was talking after the fight. He was like, he wasn't impressed by his performance. He was like, shit, man, I got to make a splash. He was like, I got to go to work after this. I was like, damn.
Yeah, he's a correctional officer at a juvenile detention center or something.
Right there. Yeah. You sub Tim Elliott and you're not satisfied with that?
Yeah.
You're a motherfucker. Jamahal Hill. TKO, KO. Klidson Farias de Abreu.
That was a really impressive finish.
Hill looks good
Hill.
in a division that needs prospects really bad.
Exactly. Yeah.
Really bad tattoo he has, but he's pretty good.
Yeah.
Good 2 thumbs up.
Let's not do what we did with who's the Brazilian prospect, Johnny Walker,
yeah.
and
put him against a wrestler.
Have him climb the ladder too quick.
Yeah. Who did he get whipped up by? Corey Anderson.
Yeah, he got whipped up by Corey Anderson.
And we knew that coming in. We knew that matchup was bad.
It was a tough
Give
matchup.
It time before you put him against somebody who's gonna hug his legs.
Yeah.
So
I think Adesanya, although he had a very quick rise, like that was a good one where they give him a couple of different types of opponents, strikers.
Favorable matchups.
Yeah, but favorable. Like let's try to do that. That's how you build prospects. In the UFC, we see it too often where prospects lose early in their careers, and sometimes they're able to bounce back, and other times they end up like Sage Northcutt.
In Adesanya's case, he was showing signs of good grappling though, so that's why they were like okay with advancing him. But
it's different too with him because he has such an extensive kickboxing career. But
but Johnny Walker, it's like, man, he's so fun to watch. You gotta I think they did the same thing with MVP. Where it's like, just do it right. And then when they move him up, they moved him up so many fucking echelons
levels. Yeah,
he went from,
and they kept him on the level of scrubs for so long.
You're gonna give him a steady diet of bus driver, and then you're gonna move him up to the top dog in the Kumite. Yeah, it's like Jesus Christ, guys. But what can you do?
Yeah, MMA, that's something that they have not figured out still. Something that boxing has done such a great job.
The weird thing is that the UFC does it well a lot of the times. It's just they slip up with guys that we really care about where you're just like, what are you doing? Bellator doesn't know how to do it. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Aaron Pico.
No.
Fuck that up.
Yeah.
That was a whiff.
AJ McKee, he's somebody who's got actually.
AJ McKee's probably the only one that they've groomed correctly.
Yeah.
He's a motherfucker.
He's very, very good. I would hope to see him in the UFC one day, definitely.
Sure. Skip over here. Chukagian, decisioning. Shevchenko, that one put me to sleep.
Yeah, she dominated her, and that was one of my worst calls of the night there. She threw her around really bad.
Mackenzie Dern, 2 minutes, 36 seconds, sub, as we called it.
They were going kind of back and forth for a second.
Yeah,
I was scared. Cypress has quick hands. Mackenzie Dern, she threw one combo at least that was like, damn, okay, she's
showing improvement.
She's pretty fast. But we'll see. At the end of the day, she needs to be able to wrestle, get people to the floor, and obviously we see what she does when that happens.
Roosevelt Roberts versus Brock Weaver, good fight. Roberts, man, he looks smooth.
He dominated.
He's smooth.
Yeah. Weaver wasn't really in that fight at all. I don't think.
I just outclassed. Roberts is patient. Got a good jab. He kind of has a weird stance. He just stands straight up, but I like him. He's cool. He's one of those people that doesn't really excel in anything, but he's good at everything. Yeah. So it's like
a name to keep an eye on, at least in lightweight.
The fight of the night. Billy Quarantillo versus Spike Carlisle. I called it. I did call this. Being fight.
I was not expecting the wildness.
I watched Spike Carlisle before, and I was just like, man. And then I didn't watch a lot of Quarantillo. I've seen him in Tough. I knew he was on the Contender Series, but he's one of those guys that I knew he's gonna get his ass kicked in the first round. Speaking of that first round, Carlisle walking away at the end of the round.
Oh my god! I was screaming at the TV.
One of the scariest things I've seen on live in a sporting event. I was like, he's gonna die.
Yeah. It was very. Who was that? Husimar Paul Harris when he walked away from.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's true.
From the Denver guy, I can't remember his name.
It kind of reminded me of when Josh Thompson got
Eve Levine.
Eve Levine. Was it?
Yeah.
I thought Eve Edwards.
Eve Edwards. Sorry.
Yeah. When he tried to throw like a spinning back.
Oh my
gosh, it reminded me of that where it was just like.
Yeah. For a second, I got scared he was gonna sleep.
Exactly. But Spike Carlisle, You mentioned it. It's weird. He looks gassed, yet he still has sting on his punches. So it's like
Yes.
he could really trick a lot of people if you think he's done for and you come in, lackluster. He'll drop you. But
Yeah.
Quarantillo doesn't go away either. He lost that first round,
Yeah.
as he does pretty much in every fight, and then he comes back in the second, and he
One of those
he
guys.
puts that Gaethje
What is
pressure.
Quarantino? Is he really a 145er or is he a 155er? Like, why was this a catchweight? Just because late notice?
Yeah, I don't know why. I'm looking at it right now. I don't know why that was a catchweight. I'm not sure.
I mean, Spike Carl is, if Diego Sanchez is going to continue fighting in the UFC, which doesn't look like he's going to stop, that would just be a fun fight,
Carlisle murders him as long as he throws legal shots.
That'd be a fun fight, though. Like, he's not a crazy big name or some super prospect they're trying to push. It would just be a fun.
Spike Carlisle is if the UFC's smart, you never cut Spike Carlisle. You slap him on the first, fight on the main card. Get that shit, up and running, or as like a main fight on the prelim card.
Yeah.
Because he's guaranteed fireworks. You match him up correctly with people. He's similar to like a Mike Perry, where it's just like you match him against people correctly. You have a barn burner on your hands, and it's just guaranteed for people to be like, "Fuck, now I gotta buy this card."
Yeah, I wish he was a 170er, man. Him and Mike Perry, or him and even like an Alan Joban, or one of those guys. Who's Michel Pereira? Like, dude. Yeah, I wish he was a 170er.
He's just blockbuster. He's fun.
Yeah.
Sakai versus Ivanov. I mean,
for a heavyweight fight that went to decision, this was about as good as it gets. It wasn't.
That's not saying much though.
It wasn't breathtaking or anything like that. Yeah, but it was a strong fight.
I went to the fridge 4 times. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, Augustus Sakai looked good. I know that he had the one moment where he grabbed onto the cage. A lot of people were mad about that, but I'm happy he won over Blagoy Ivanov.
Doesn't matter to me. Heavyweight division is
so
we're gonna keep talking shit about it until it changes. It's garbage.
But at 29 years old though, Sakai, that's about as young as it gets for having been in the UFC. Like, he has some potential.
Who could you put him against now with a win over Blagoy?
You can get scary and put him against like a JDS, who will.
That would be interesting.
I could see JDS. But I can see JDS kind of handling him.
Give him that dude. What was his name? With the little fur on the back of his head.
I don't know. I was thinking Tai Tuivasa.
Who was that fat dude with the hands that we saw not too long ago?
Oh, yes. You're talking about the guy who just beat, or but fought Greg Hardy.
Greg Hardy. Yes. That guy.
Jorgen Castro.
Yes, yeah. Jorgen De Castro. Put him against Jorgen De Castro.
I wouldn't be mad at that.
I like that
guy. That's a fun boxing
I like
match.
that guy.
Yeah,
cool.
That was a weird fight. I think he broke his hand, right? That's why he stopped throwing, he said. But
maybe. I mean, yeah. Dude, that makes sense then. I didn't hear about that. That makes sense because we were saying, like, we both looked at each other like, Greg Hardy might go to sleep in this fight.
Yeah.
He might be knocked out.
He's slowed down significantly.
Yeah. And then main event, Tyron Woodley versus Gilbert Burns. Gilbert Burns landed a huge shot in the first round. Yeah. And I think that kind of set the tone for the fight. I think Tyron Woodley was like, oh, that was not fun. I'm just going to kind of...
Yeah, I was telling you earlier that that double leg that he hit in the second round, to me, that's when I kind of like, oh, okay.
Well, and the fact that Tyron couldn't land a takedown either.
Yeah, like
they were just kind of like half-ass attempts. I was just like, it's just weird. Two back-to-back weird performances from Tyron Woodley, where it's just like, he says at least it's cool that he says like, hey, I came in prepared. I came in same as always. He just whooped my ass, which I mean that's commendable.
He's 38, 37 years old, so this could just be
yeah.
He's in the Robbie Lawler stage of his career now.
Such a quick drop. It's insane. Yeah. I don't know. Like, he was one of the best in the world, and then the next day, can he beat anybody right now?
Yeah.
He looks gun shy. That's another thing.
Yeah.
He still has the speed. He still has the athleticism. Yeah. It's just weird.
I think for For me, Gilbert Burns, his physicality is what stood out.
And that he's good everywhere.
We were talking about. Yeah, we were talking about Covington being a possible matchup. I wouldn't mind seeing him fight Wonder Boy.
That's another one we were talking about that too. Yeah. Wonder Boy would be fun.
That would be a really, really nice fight. You know, the pressure that he puts on. I know it's kind of Wonder Boy's, bread and butter to stop that, but I think also his ability to take people to the floor and not take them to the floor, but finish them. I think he give Wonder Boy, who's one of my favorite welterweights, a lot of problems.
Yeah, but then Wonder Boy would give him a lot of problems too. I mean,
exactly. It'd be a good
Burns would. It would be very hard to find Wonder Boy's chin, in my opinion, for Burns.
Yeah, I agree. That's where he'd probably have to use his ground game.
Yeah, he'd probably get frustrated and go for the ground. I mean, it would be an interesting chess match.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Next for Tyron Woodley, who do you think he fights? Do you think he retires?
I can see him retiring. He's talked about 185 in the past. I think he's just too small, not as far as bulk goes, but as far as length. But maybe that would help his gas tank out. He'd be a lot faster and probably still at least as powerful as some of the top middleweights in the world. So I would not mind seeing a him and Gastelum rematch at 185. That's a matchup that would interest me. I don't think 170 has much more to offer him. If he wants to just stay there and do kind of like I said, what Robbie's been doing these past few years, just fighting prospects and other former contenders alike, then so be it. But instead, let's go for a change of scenery.
Yeah,
let's move up.
Yep. So you're set on Burns fighting Woodley then? I mean, fighting Wonder Boy.
Dream is kind of your dream, the Covington fight. Like that would be ideal, but I just don't think Covington's gonna fight him. Covington is kind of acting like a mercenary right now, where he wants only big fights, which it's fair.
His mouth has
got
him big fights. So
so I think Wonder Boy just would make maybe it just makes a lot of sense and is more likely, I guess.
I just feel like Wonder Boy doesn't get enough love,
Yeah, especially after the Pettis KO. Yeah. So people sleep, but Wonderboy Thompson is still a very dangerous problem at 170.
Okay, UFC 250.
Yeah.
The next pay-per-view.
Stiggity stack.
Yeah, with the newly announced bouts, I mean, it's just...
Yeah, because about 2 weeks ago, this card was looking
all-time
ugly.
All-time. Bad.
Yeah. And within like a week and a half or so.
And I misread the tweet where I thought Jose Aldo and Peter Yan was on here. I was just like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. That would have made this card.
I mean,
too stacked a little bit, to be honest.
A little too stacked.
Let's spread them out a little bit.
Let's start with Caceres and Chase Hooper. That's gonna be fun, man.
I think Chase Hooper may be biting off more than he can chew.
A little bit.
Because I like him a lot as a prospect, but man, Alex Caceres is dangerous. Not just on the feet either. He's not great on the ground, as we saw like Gracie, kind of dominate him.
Yeah.
But on the feet, and it's not like Hooper's some great wrestler. In his last fight, he was getting tagged before he ended up finishing the opponent. So
for sure.
I'm kind of scared that
Caceres has
this
slick boxing, very unpredictable, and if it hits the ground, I'm
not ready to just crown Chase Hooper as this jiu-jitsu phenom.
Exactly. It's like the way I view him right now is what's that guy's name that beat CM Punk? What is his name?
Mickey Gall.
Where it's like, yeah, his ground game's good, but I want to see it against somebody who's, legit. Caceres is legit.
Yeah, who's been really tested.
Yeah. This is a big jump.
Yes.
I feel like he kind of like handpicked Caceres as well. Like I don't know. He seems like the kind of fighter who's just like, yeah, I want that guy. I don't feel like the UFC would just give him Caceres. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
a scary fight.
His size is a big advantage.
He is huge. Yeah.
Huge. Even though he looks like he was shoved in
Caceres.
lockers in high school, like he is huge.
Yeah. Yeah. If I'm Caceres, I'm trying to stay on the outside for as long as possible. I don't want to get grabbed. I want to get thrown up against the cage.
Leg kick.
Try
jab.
to hit him with leg kicks.
Let's
Yes.
see. Let's see what kind of striking this guy's got. You know.
Yeah.
I just hope Caceres, really tests him.
Yes.
I'm hoping
that's
Chase Hooper wins. Just put some new blood in the
upside,
featherweight division. I'm a big Caceres fan. Obviously.
Yeah, me too.
How can you not be? So the fight is fun. I'm gonna be glued to the TV. This is not gonna be one where I go to the fridge and get a couple 805s. No. Let's see, main card: Eddie Wineland, Sean O'Malley.
Yeah, man. Eddie Wineland. Yeah.
That's like
Eddie
Wineland.
Wineland. Right if this was like 4 years ago, Eddie Wineland would have had a chance. But this is not 4 years ago, and I think we saw John Dodson a few fights ago beat Eddie Wineland up just with speed.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't have the kind of power he had at 125. I think we're going to see Sean O'Malley kind of have a similar performance as he did in his last fight and pick Eddie Wineland apart pretty bad and finish him. I'm going to say probably late first round. We're going to see Sean O'Malley finish him. Yeah.
I'm thinking this is going to dip into the second. I think Eddie Wineland knows what he's up against. He's a veteran. I don't know how many vets has O'Malley fought. Has he?
Really, only his last fight, right? Alberto Quinones, and he's not like an Eddie Wineland.
Eddie Wineland's the first guy that he's fought that
former title challenger
was on the upper echelon of UFC fighters. So he's definitely cannot underestimate Eddie Wineland. I do think Sean O'Malley gets it done, but like he said in his last fight, he wanted to show more of his newly crafted fighting style. So I think he's gonna be more patient here. I think the first round is gonna be feeling out. I think he might possibly eat a couple shots from Eddie Wineland because Eddie Wineland can get wild sometimes. I am expecting a couple exchanges here where I'm just gonna be like
scared.
You know what I mean? Because Sean O'Malley, he's top 5 for me favorite fighters.
Not even
close.
Him, Adesanya, those are top 5, top 3 guys right there for sure. His whole demeanor, his style is fun as hell to watch.
The UFC, their top guys that they're grooming, Ngannou, Adesanya. Even though Adesanya is a champ, they're still grooming him for Anderson Silva type things.
Oh yeah.
Sean O'Malley is just like their, the next great white hope. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah. He has some McGregor to him too.
I was going to say that, but everybody says that. His striking is McGregor-esque. His timing, his fluidity.
Yeah. Yes.
So, it just those are fighting styles that, they market themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
Plus, he's just one of the coolest cats in the world.
Yeah.
So.
The UFC doesn't have to do much. Just kind of let him be.
Exactly.
And stop with these BS suspensions.
Mm-hmm.
When is he gonna get on the John Jones level where he gets to get away with these micro or whatever the hell
he's a couple wins away from he's basically the Snoop Dogg of the UFC. He's you can't not like the guy.
No. We used to call who was the guy who just fought Artem Lobov in Bare Knuckle FC? The Hick Diaz, right? Jason Knight. This is the real third Diaz, bro. This is the white Diaz, bro, right here.
Well, if the Diaz and McGregor fight had a baby, that baby
exactly. Oh my
that
goodness,
baby is Sean O'Malley. If they looked under the cage and they just pulled out this tattooed little curly headed, fuck, that would be Sean O'Malley.
That's a perfect way to put it.
And I'm loving every second of it. And Reebok, for some reason, they actually got the shirts down with Sean O'Malley. They got this trippy, smoking weed ass, fucking t-shirt. I'm just like, finally, Reebok, just do this with every fighter because there's no individuality with the Reebok deal.
And luckily it only took them 5 years. So,
I know. For the end of the deal, man. Listen here. If the UFC does not go with Nike, I am going to lose my shit.
Yeah, you gotta allow sponsors. I see some people
I mean,
like
they're
making
not
fun
going to
of.
go back
Oh,
to the Wild West of
like,
sponsors.
you gotta allow Condom Depot and stuff. We don't have to do that.
Depot.
It doesn't have to be that.
Throwback. What are
But
the man wipes?
yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's just like the classic. Everybody makes fun of him and says that. But these guys can't get sponsored by Manscaped like the UFC
Those
has with their
guys
cage.
who are talking about Condom Depot are the same ones. Just like, are they banging right now? Are they having sex in the cage? It's like, hey, you gotta leave the barbecue, dude. The door's over there. Get out.
Yeah.
Jesus. Or dude, Bruce Lee would whip the shit out of all these guys.
I that's one thing. When this Bruce Lee doc drops on ESPN, you're gonna hear people saying that a lot.
What Bruce
really
Lee
bad
would do to
take.
John Jones?
He was 4'2".
That's not even it.
He'd be serving
You
the
put
king egg
Mighty
roll.
Mouse on him? Hey.
Yeah.
Hey.
Not that he obviously wasn't great, and
There's no disrespect to Bruce Lee. He's one of the greatest innovators of.
it's disrespect to John Jones though to even
It's a disrespect to the sport.
yes to the sport in whole. To say that Rui Gracie would stand a chance against a lot of these guys today. It's just different. Just different
It's
times.
just like, I'm sorry. I mean, this might be a fucked up comparison, but it's like look at you're already ready. It's like watching Space Jam and you're seeing Bill Murray ball up Bugs Bunny. You're just like, man, he could take some of the point guards right now in the NBA. Hey,
No.
it don't work like that. Just because he slapped around Chuck Norris, who's also not a UFC
Fighter.
I was gonna say UFC caliber fighter.
Not a fighter.
Man, we can go on this for all day, but okay. Neil Magny versus Rock.
If you're listening to this show, you know this already.
Oh, yeah.
Because you are way too balls deep in MMA to be listening to this show.
The amount of YouTube pages you've had to scroll by.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're way too balls deep in UFC, guy. Neil Magny versus Rocco Martin. Now, I'm glad Neil Magny's getting fights. He's not somebody that you want to fight, really, because he's a gym rat. He's a machine.
Yeah.
Am I going to be snoring at some points of this fight? Yes. Large portions. This is going to go to decision. Maybe a Magny TKO sub. Smother.
Yeah.
Let's just put it that way. Smother. But yes, I will be going to the fridge for this one.
Let's just put it this way. Anthony Rocco Martin has only one KO and only been KO'd, or never been KO'd, and only has one KO finish in his career.
This has...
No, that's...
Well, I mean, after the O'Malley fight, I mean, you can't go straight into Sterling versus Sandhagen. Jesus Christ.
I agree.
Jesus. But, yeah, well, that's my transition into Sterling versus Sandhagen. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, this fight, boy.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Bantamweight doesn't have a champion, but I would assume one of these two guys very soon will be fighting for a belt.
Man, if they put Sandhagen and Garbrandt, oh my god. But I think this is gonna be. I think Sterling knows that he wants no part of Sandhagen on the feet, and I think he will go in for the grappling. He'll test the waters with the striking a little bit, but I think midway into the first round, Sterling's gonna shoot for a double leg, single leg, something.
Yeah.
Sandhagen is a motherfucker on the ground too. He's one of these new school MMA guys where it's like, oh, you want to go to the ground? Yeah, we can do that. You want to go? You want to clinch? Yeah. No problem. Stand up. Be my guest. You know, his footwork is Dillashaw-esque.
Mm-hmm. And he's much taller than him too. He's very
super lanky guy. He's just he's not bad anywhere. And I feel like Jorge Masvidal was like the first guy that I saw that was just like not bad in any aspect of MMA. You know, I feel like he was kind of the next step. I mean, I'm trying to think of somebody else. Saint Pierre. Saint Pierre. Yeah. I was it just got into my brain, but like he's just goat. So it's just like,
Yeah.
I'm talking about this is like applicable to an actual human being, not a fucking robot like St. Pierre. St. Pierre just downloads. Like, he could be coached by anybody. He's the most coachable fighter probably to ever live. You know?
Yeah.
You tell him something, he just absorbs it like a sponge. But
and does it well. And does it well, too.
Exactly. But of course, like, no one's gonna be St. Pierre. But a lot of these the way they're developing fighters now is just like, if you don't have a rounded out game, you're gonna get exposed very fast.
Unless you're from Dagestan.
Then you can spam.
Then you can get away with it.
Even the Dagestani guys,
some of them,
you can get caught.
Most of them, you know.
Makhachev, you can get caught. You know.
Yeah.
There's only one Khabib. Khabib, he just seems to put his head in the right spot every single time. I mean, you can't fucking hit the guy. Like, I seen one shot when Poirier landed a right hand against him. I was just like, it's over. Like, I've never seen a guy like that other than Mayweather, where it's like a shot lands, and you think the world just ended. You're just like, did he just get hit right now? Did he just get hit?
It's weird. It's weird. It's weird to see that, because you're right. It is very Mayweather-ish.
It's just like anything that happens to him, you'll lose your fucking mind. You know?
Yeah, you overblow
of course.
You know, you blow it out of proportion.
But his fight with Gaethje's gonna be. I mean, his fight with Poirier, like, everybody was trying to, like, convince me that was gonna be competitive, and I knew deep down, like, of course I'm gonna psych myself out after I watch, you know, a million embeddeds, and I watch the countdown, you know, with the guy that does the Arby's commercials. Yeah, of course I'm gonna get fucking juiced.
Yeah, no, I didn't see that being competitive at all.
But no, of course not. That guillotine.
That did get. That's the thing, man. It'll always leave me wondering,
exactly.
man. If Tony.
It gave me something to lick my lips about with Tony.
Yeah.
But then, you know, we all know how that ended up. What do you think happens in the Sterling versus Sandhagen fight?
I think if this was a 5-round fight, I would favor Corey Sandhagen. But because this is 3 rounds, I think Aljamain Sterling is veteran enough, because he is a veteran. He's been in the UFC now for a long time. I think he's going to be veteran enough to do enough to get a split decision, you know, 29-28. Kind of a close one.
I agree this goes to decision.
Either guy could
I
have
do
won.
agree that. I think these guys are too good to let a finish happen. I don't think Sandhagen has the same KO ability that Moraes has. But
Dude, this bantamweight division, and we haven't seen the next fight. This bantamweight division, can you imagine Sean O'Malley versus Corey Sandhagen next year? Come on, man. This bantamweight division is. It's offensively.
That is literally offensive. That was a cuss word that you just fucking spouted right now.
Yeah. How can this 135, 145, 155? Those divisions are just.
I literally just shit my pants by you just fucking mentioning Sandhagen and O'Malley. That is just like, I just see spinning.
Wild fight.
I see spinning back fists. I see wild jabs, setups, takedowns, scrambles. Me pulling.
Yeah, the boxing exchanges.
Me going to the bathroom, getting the Jergens. I mean, this is just no. That can't happen. It won't. No. The UFC will find a way to not let that fight happen
to not pay somebody.
That fight's not gonna happen for the next 10 years. They're gonna be too old. They're gonna set it up in BKFC or one. But yeah, I have Sandhagen winning that fight by unanimous decision. I think he's gonna control it on the feet. I think he's gonna be good enough on the ground to get back up. So I have Sandhagen.
I mean, I've been off. So at the end of the day, don't follow what I'm saying. I've been way off.
I'm like 0-15 in UFC bets right now, so don't look at me.
No.
My bookie is gonna sponsor us out of pity, I think.
Yeah, I haven't made a bet since the NFL season, and that's because, well, I lost a lot of money during the NFL season.
Okay, a Sunsao versus Garbrandt. Another one where it's just like, I know a Sunsao is the negator of fighters and fight styles. But Jesus Christ, I mean, Garbrandt coming back, he's pure violence.
Oh, that's another one. Can we get Garbrandt O'Malley one day? Too? Because that's the same
Garbrandt
division.
against Sterling, Sanhagen, and O'Malley is just.
And I don't mean Cody Garbrandt from his last couple of fights. I mean the Cody Garbrandt who slapped Dominic Cruz.
Okay,
that guy.
Well, that guy was not even human. I don't even think you have to be in a special mindset. I think that was partly because Cruz was on the opposite side of the cage, you know.
Yeah.
Because Cruz can do that to people.
Yeah.
You know, Cruz can either psych you out because you can't stand him so much, or it elevates your game, similar to like a McGregor type, where it's just like
he can make you or can break you or can break
exactly. A Sun Tzu is just, man, you bring anything.
You never look great.
You'll never look great
unless you're Marlon Moraes. Then
you look pretty.
Then
good.
you can look great.
Then you look pretty good.
Yeah. Anybody else though? Hell, even TJ.
Well, I mean, Marlon
Moraes,
he did look shitty against him in the first fight, even. Right?
Yeah, that's true.
It took 2 fights for him to really like understand a Sun Tzu. And
kind of the same thing with Dillashaw too. He lost the first fight, and then no.
Did
he lose?
He beat Dillashaw.
He beat Dillashaw the second time. You know, he looked better, but still not even
Sanhagen
great.
didn't look great against the Sun Tzu. I mean, he looked good, but a Sun Tzu switch hitter. He's just he has the footwork to keep up with you. He's got just enough power for you to be like, okay, well, I don't want to do anything stupid. His ground game is solid.
Yeah.
Takedown defense is good. You know.
Yeah.
He is. Yeah. If you created a fighter, you're like, okay, give me a fighter that can make any fight a boring fight. I would make him in a similar fashion of a Sun Tzu. You know.
Yeah.
It's like, don't give him that much power because you don't want him to finish fights. You know.
Yeah.
You want him to have a decent. He's able to take you down, and it will not be
control you,
and it won't be easy for you to take him down. His ground game is gonna be, he won't be able to really land a submission 100% of the time, but he's gonna get in good positions against you. Yeah, I mean, he is the perfect gatekeeper. That's a better way.
Yeah, he really
way
is.
to describe it. Not boring fighter, but like if I had to create a gatekeeper, it would look like a Sun Tzu. If you can look good against a Sun Tzu, you're upper echelon. You're the next level for sure. You know, if Garbrandt could KO a Sun Tzu, he's back. Do I think that's gonna happen?
Yeah.
Do I think a Sun Tzu actually has a good chance to knock out Garbrandt? Yeah.
Yeah, this fight to me, it's going to be very telling of Cody Garbrandt and where he is. No more excuses of, he got too wild because he's emotional. Enough of that. You've made enough mistakes now.
That's him.
Yeah, exactly. Well, there's no more excuses of that. You grow as a fighter. Or that's it. You are what you are. If you lose this fight again because you get too emotional, then you are what you are. I believe he can be champion one day again. And this fight right here is going to go a long way in showing whether that's a possibility or not. He has all the talent in the world to do it. Obviously,
where
can he self in check? That's the big thing.
What do you think happens? What's your prediction?
I am biased. I'm saying Cody Garbrandt. TKO's Rafael Alonso in late second round. That's just so off. It probably is, but again, Cody Garbrandt, I feel like he's gonna be the champion again one day. So if I'm gonna say that,
a Sun Tzu he doesn't look bad. I know what a Sun Tzu is going to show up. That's the difference here. I am certain a Sun Tzu is going to be good. So he has, I mean, recently, knocked out some people. I have him. Yeah. I have him TKOing Garbrandt, possibly. Don't say that. Knocking him out. I'm gonna say TKO because I like the guy. Yeah. Garbrandt's cool.
Yeah.
He's fun to watch. I wish Garbrandt would win. He just hasn't given me any signs that his mindset is like, he just needs patience. You add patience into his game plan, Pedro Munez is still sleeping in the cage right now.
I know.
Because he had him hurt. Just relax,
Yeah.
Cody.
He needs some of that Justin Gaethje. Justin Gaethje needs to give him a pep talk.
I know that's the funny thing about Justin Gaethje, is that they'll say Gaethje is just crazy and wild. It's like, well, no, he isn't.
No, once he smells blood, he knows.
Yeah, what's wild?
He knows
wild is his pressure and how he's able to put it on you for that long. That's what I think when I say he's wild. It's just like,
one second, I'm opening the blinds real quick. Bring some light in here.
Jesus.
That dark.
The Oak Grove Eagles shorts. Jeez. That's a throwback.
Oregon Ducks. Not a Ducks fan, but.
Well, you gotta wear something. I mean, you're a Miami fan, so you gotta find a new team, right?
Oh my gosh! So it does say Oregon Ducks football. Just supporting the school.
We all know what you're wearing it for. It's all right. You gotta switch teams. I get it.
Go grab my Frank Gore Miami jersey. I had a Colin Kaepernick jersey actually on at work today. I had to let him know.
I love how you're part of the NAACP after all these riots.
Oh my god!
Just gonna let you guys know we are some of the whitest black guys you'll ever see. But moving on, Assunção, second round, maybe third round, because he doesn't really get tired. TKO, and to the main event.
Okay. First of all, I think if Assunção wins by TKO, it'll be early again, kind of like Munoz. If he wins by TKO, it's because Garbrandt is just has no regard for himself or his career.
I think Garbrandt's gonna come out. This might be too much speculation, but I think he's gonna come out over patient. He's not gonna do much in the first round. Throw jabs.
Overcompensate.
Yeah, exactly.
Wildness.
He's gonna jab. Wait. Second round, he's gonna be the Garbrandt that we know, where he's gonna be throwing wild. And I think he's going to get caught late in the second. Could be third, though. He could be patient in the first and second, where he's just super...
And then get bored of it.
Exactly. Gets bored of it, and then does the Garbrandt thing that we all know. That's where my mindset is. But I might just be looking too much into it. But main event, Nunes, the GOAT, versus Felicia Spencer.
Yeah.
I mean,
if there was one clear GOAT in MMA, I would say it's Amanda Nunes. For men's, you have the Fedors, the Jones, the Demetrius Johnson, GSP, Anderson. To me, Cejudo. That's fair.
Yeah, I gotta roll my eyes at that, but he's in the conversation.
Has absolutely distanced herself
no.
by one beating two of the GOATs.
I
Ronda
would
Rousey and
love a Cyborg rematch, only because because that fight just seems so like it's just not finished. Yeah. It's like, you beat her ass, but it's just like it just doesn't feel full. It doesn't feel like I got the full fight. I want a rematch. Yeah. If you beat Cyborg in that rematch, I will literally bend the knee. Yeah. I'm already saying Amanda Nunes is GOAT. It's just like, she's within reach. Let's just put it that way. If she can finish Cyborg again, or even beat her, decision, there's no one that's ever going to catch her. Yeah. She'll be a Michael Jordan type-esque GOAT in the women's division.
That is very fair.
It's like, you're not going to get another Ronda Rousey. You're not going to get another Cyborg. Therefore, you're not going to be able to beat any of those people because they'll be retired.
That is very fair.
You're not going to get another Amanda Nunes. I think, it might be unreachable now. I'm just saying, like, if she beats Cyborg again, I mean, Jesus Christ, throw in the fucking towel.
It is probably unreachable. I think something that could happen, that she could do to get that, though, is maybe if Shevchenko rattled off a couple more, went up to bantamweight again for the third time, and she beat Shevchenko again.
That's another one. She needs one more nail in the coffin to really just like, all right.
Yeah.
It's over.
Yeah. But I obviously see
a Shevchenko win. That's a good. Yeah.
I don't really see a path to victory here for Felicia Spencer. Nunes has power. She has speed. She can grapple. She don't get tired.
Glance, I saw this fight as a joke, and I will reel it back a little bit. Felicia Spencer is tough. She's tough.
Her and Cyborg had
exactly. I rewatched that Cyborg fight, and I was just like, man, she can take it.
Yes.
So, Amanda Nunes, she just has to not gas out. Just come prepared, get your stamina good.
Yeah.
Because Felicia Spencer, she's this is the biggest fight of her life, obviously. Amanda Nunes has beat the who's fucking who of women's MMA. So she, shit. What scares me is that she's just bored, and Felicia Spencer's just gonna come in here, and she's gonna try hard. Of course, she's gonna do the try hard shit, and pull off one of the biggest upsets in history. But in reality, Amanda Nunes is gonna go in there. She's gonna bip bop bibbity boo her ass.
Yeah.
And we're gonna get a TKO in the second round early. I don't think it's gonna end in the first.
No, I don't either. I don't either. Actually, I'm gonna actually go further on to say I'll say it goes to the fourth round, and Amanda Nunes finishes her with ground strikes. We've seen Amanda Nunes stay safe against Jermaine Durandame. She's not the kind of fighter who's gonna put herself in a bad position. And if that means putting you on the floor on your back for 4 or 5 rounds, so be it. That's what she'll do. If that's what it takes to win.
That comment right there is reminiscent of the Cyborg fight, where it's just like Cyborg just put herself in a shitty position when fighting Amanda Nunes.
Yeah.
I mean, when we were watching it, like literally, I'm pretty sure my heart stopped for those 2 minutes or whatever it was, maybe like less than a minute.
I can say this. Watching a fight with you, and we watch most together, and even if not, the big ones we have, I don't think we've ever reacted that way to a fight, where we were literally completely. I've never been fully speechless.
Like
Aldo McGregor, maybe.
I mean, I was drunk and high when that happened, so it was almost like that didn't happen. No, because I turned and fucking Jose Aldo was like this, and I was like, that guy hasn't lost in 9 years. No. I'm seeing things. Take another hit of the bong.
Yeah. But dude, this last one, that Cyborg fight. I mean, jaws dropped. I don't think we said anything for
usually
2
we scream like the Ngannou Rosenstruck fight.
Yeah.
Just grabbing onto you. No. That one we just looked at each other, just like, did one of our childhood, fucking heroes, like fucking Cyborg, that was the classic. She could beat up the dudes, like woman fighter. Yeah. The classic.
Yeah, absolutely.
I still think she gives Benavidez all that he can handle.
Wow.
No, I'm kidding. But like I said though, it's like, man,
she might give his girl all she can handle too.
Yeah, she lay the pipe on her for sure. That Brazilian pipe. Jesus.
We're just joking. We're just joking here. You put a mic in my face for an hour. It's impossible. I don't say something stupid.
It's like Bill Burr.
We're still learning.
Bill Burr in that End of the World podcast. It's just like, you remember when they did that End of the World thing with the Trump versus Hillary thing?
Yeah, Reicher was on there, and then
you put a mic in Bill Burr's face for more than an hour, man. You're gonna get some headline news worthy.
And he's a professional.
Exactly.
We're amateurs.
No, amateurs. So. No, not even.
All jokes. We have plenty of respect for Amanda Nunes and all that.
Of course. But yeah, Amanda Nunes stays champ. Nothing to be surprised about. I think we are gonna be surprised about a lot of the bantamweight fights in here, man.
Yeah. It's impossible that we call all 3 of these fights, right?
Like, man, I am literally fucking chopping at the bits just to see, what happens in the bantamweight division, because it's like, it's gonna flip upside down after this fucking card, man. We're gonna get
some clarity in what's gonna be going on next. And once we get Peter Yan, Aldo figured out. Also, Dominic Cruz is still here too.
I'm surprised that Aljamain Sterling and Sanhagen are not the co-main over a Sun Tzu and Garbrandt, in my opinion. I feel like that's a higher level fight.
It could just be that Garbrandt his name carries more weight, but
that's exactly what I'm saying. But it's just strange.
Even still,
Sterling and Sanhagen. Sanhagen's got that 12-1 record, very marketable. Yeah. Sterling, got the personality, very marketable.
Yeah.
A Sun Tzu, Not very marketable. Cody's carrying that fight on his back.
Yeah.
Literally, he's the only reason why this is co-main. But altogether, I mean that fight card's juicy.
Yeah, it's very good.
There is Alonzo Menafield versus Devin Clark on the early prelims is a sleeper fight for me. That could be fun.
Stamen and Kelleher, right?
Yeah. Oh, exactly. Stamen is gonna be a good fight, and Kelleher.
Another bantamweight
Kelleher,
fight.
yeah, he came off that KO of what's his name? Who did he knock out again? Hunter Azure, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. That's gonna be a fucking fight. Exactly. That's a sleeper fight. Those are my two, you should check him out fights.
He's a finisher too. Brian Kelleher. Kelleher. He's a finisher.
He goes for it. Yeah. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun. So yeah, UFC looking good. We'll keep it up. We'll keep busting out videos when we can. When I'm not barbecuing.
Maybe this week we'll actually get an NFL one. I mean, there really hasn't been much news, so we'll come with something. Maybe talk about predictions for division winners or awards, something like that.
Exactly.
It's tough. Nothing really to talk about though.
So yeah, Just a Fan podcast. We'll be back.
Stay safe. Yep. Stay safe.
Yep.
Protest. Smart.